All right, good morning. We are live and excited to tune in with everyone that's with us today to discuss with you online food ordering. I am Juliet Abdel, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. And if this is your first time landing on our page, then kudos to you on making the step forward to success. So make sure that you like this page, that you also follow it. And if this content is relevant to someone you might know or yourself personally, be sure that you share this as well. This topic is actually one of our COVID-19 series, which is a newer program that we launched in wake of COVID-19 to try and equip our businesses with skills that they might need to adapt to the new workforce. So how to do business in wake of COVID is how we branded it. And each time we bring an expert that shares on a particular skill set they have or a topic that they are incredibly aware of. So today I have with me Jeff Leopold. Jeff is with Heartland and has been a member of our organization for some time. He's been a past ambassadors chairman and is really hands-on in the community. So I was excited that he had some time to hop on here with us. And Jeff will be sharing kind of the nine tips for why go online with ordering and some other resources. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to you, Jeff, to take over the conversation.
Well, thank you, Juliet. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to share with the membership here today. Obviously, these are unusual times, unprecedented, and it is, it's in these times where we have the opportunity to truly make a difference for those that we're working with on a daily basis. And I'm really excited to be able to share with you a little bit about how, those of you that might, whether you are a consumer of restaurant, goods or the hospitality space, or you are a merchant or business owner that has a restaurant, hopefully I'll be able to share some ideas with you that will give you an idea of how you can more effectively impact those that you're working with here, not just in today's environment, but going forward. The events that have taken place over the last several weeks with the stay-at-home orders and the shutdown orders that have been put in place for restaurants requiring that either dine-in is no longer an option today. We've got either takeout, delivery, or drive up, and for our drive up, fast food type chains, this is, for the most part, business as usual. They've been dealing with this for many years, but for our businesses that are now relegated to doing takeout, or used to doing dine-in service, takeout and delivery is a new venture for many, and especially the ability to be able to offer online ordering is something that is new. What's interesting, though, is if we look back over the last several years, Juliet, we've actually seen online ordering has been growing at about 100% pace over the last several years. So, but it's still a very small number, only about, as of projected over the last couple of years, roughly about 6 to 10% of businesses have online ordering platforms. But what's been amazing, we've seen a huge jump in that in the last few weeks, because of this dramatic, the dramatic changes that have taken place, and the need for businesses like our restaurateurs to be able to offer their goods and services in different ways. And so, with that said, I thought I'd share with you a few stats that I came across here in some discussions with clients. One of those I thought was really interesting. We've seen millennials order takeout via a website or some type of app. 79% of our millennials have ordered via online or website or some application in the last year. So that so our millennial group have been early adopters. But I really do think the events that are taking place today are going to make a huge paradigm shift. You're going to see a massive increase in the desire for individuals to be able to order their goods and services online, and that's going to include our food, in whether it be takeout or delivery. So we're seeing a huge ramp up in that, and I think it's because of the events that are taking place today. You're going to see this is going to grow exponentially and it's going to become the new norm as we move forward. So with that, I thought I'd share a couple things with you. As of today, this marketplace, online ordering marketplace, is only about 6% of the overall population last year, and yet I think what you're going to see is my guess is just in the last few weeks we're probably pushing close to 10%. We've seen a huge increase here at Heartland in interest in online ordering, and been working with our clientele to help bring them into the 21st century here. So with that, I thought I'd share with you a few. There's really, I think, 9 key advantages to offering online ordering. If you aren't doing so today, hopefully these will be some things that will resonate with you. So Julia, first and foremost, I think online ordering just makes that process of ordering much easier for both the consumer, as well as it makes it easier for the restaurateur. If we look at just traditionally, people have picked up the phone, called in an order. Invariably there's some mistake or error that happens through that process, and it doesn't always go as well as we'd hoped. Just think about the amount of time that today we have. A lot of our restaurateurs have shortened staff, so they've had to lay off a number of employees or furlough employees because of the circumstances. They're working with skeleton crews, and if oftentimes they're the one on the phone taking those orders, and it's not the most efficient way for them to be able to do that. So the ability to make it easier for a consumer to be able to take a look at the menu, peruse it, identify new opportunities. It allows the restaurateur to highlight those specific menu items that they might have a special going on or whatever. It allows an opportunity to be able to make it easier for a consumer to be able to buy their goods and services. So with that's number one. I think number two, especially in this environment, it's a more efficient and a safer way to be able for the customer and for the order management process to happen. So if you think about that part of it here, effective online ordering system really should work in conjunction with their point of sale system. So the order comes in, it goes right to the kitchen seamlessly. It allows the restaurant to prepare that meal as the individual is coming. A lot of the new technology today works with GPS, so you'll know when that customer is pulling up to the curbside, and the payment's already been made at the time of the order. So by having that done, literally they pull up, you walk out, hand them their items that they ordered, and away you go. There's one interaction. I was just, my wife had called in an order to Outback here yesterday for the family here, and I happened to go with her on that order. We pulled up, they came out, they got her, she handed them a gift card. They went back in, ran the gift card. Oh, it was about $3 short from what needed to be, from the total order. So we had to come back, and she had to get another card, go run that transaction, and come back. It wasn't efficient at all. And just think about from a safety perspective, from just the safety of your employees as well as the safety of the customer. The fewer interactions that we can have with between our staff and our and that consumer, it just makes it safer for everyone as well. So, especially in this environment.
So you mentioned a couple of really cool things, and I don't want to lose track of them.
Yes, please.
We also have several people that are tuned in. Thanks, Nick, for tuning in from Broomfield. We've also got Parker from Carrabba's and Denise Sweet from World Juice Bar. Thank you both. Both are in food service, and so I know this is a value to them. And then our state representative, Tracy Kraftarp, thank you also for tuning in. You shared with me, and that was crazy statistic, that only 6% actually had online ordering, because I feel like it's taken off so much over the last few years. But when you look at the numbers, that's not really the case. And for it to jump from 6 to 10 in a 2-week, in a 2-week time period, really was when this all exploded. That's nearly double. So what we're seeing is the demand on that has gone up that much. And some of the things, you highlighted was efficiency. So when we have less of a workforce and we need to be able to be efficient and to make sure that our customers are taken care of and that their needs are met, there's always room for error, for human error. So when you are on the phone, you're bound to hear something. I do that, I'll hear something and I think it's 181/18, or something odd like that, or it could just be an extra comment that was thrown out there. But we just generally have that trying to get things done. And so this kind of mitigates that because it's the easier process. They're the ones that are selecting what they want. So if there's something that's off, it's as the user error, not so much on the restaurant. And that goes back to that efficiency. It goes back to the customer experience, which is what you were referencing in the second part, or your second step. So love those.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And, I think if we look at kind of the third point that I think is one of the keys to what makes online ordering so important is it provides that platform for a restaurateur to really have the ability to monitor their expenses in real time. So, many of these systems are designed where it allows them to be able to get an instant look at their cash flow in the restaurant. The point of sale systems can be managing their cost of goods, managing their inventories, and can provide then a really good look at sales and just what the costs are to be able to provide that good for that to the end consumer, and just gives them a really quick look rather than having to go to the cash register and add things up in a manual process. So it just makes it a lot easier, a lot more detailed reporting available, with a good system. So, fourth item I would mention as well is just free and cheap marketing. So the ability to capture, typically through that online ordering process, you're going to be capturing a phone number, an email address. You're going to be capturing some really critical information, plus their card information, that's going to allow you to really understand whether or not this is it's going to give you data that's going to be helpful for you to determine, is this a new or repeat customer? Mm-hmm. Do we have, is this, are you growing your market share at this time and reaching new people? So it also gives you an opportunity to be able to use that information for your social media efforts. And I think right now, what we're seeing from restaurants that are really benefiting greatly. In fact, we have a number of restaurants we're working with right now that have actually seen have had some of their largest business days ever in the last 2 weeks. And it's because of the fact that they've been really, putting the word out via social media, whether it be Facebook or other platforms, Google and so forth, to be able to get the word out. So I think there's an opportunity if you can leverage this information that you're capturing at the time of order to be able to market to those individuals in the future.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good point that you mentioned. I initially reached out to you about this topic because we had a couple of restaurants that were sharing with us, we are available for takeout. They'll have to call us and we'll let you know whenever our online system is ready. And I was surprised when I heard that. I was like, well, oh my gosh, they're not going to be the only ones. I've learned that a long time ago. If you think you're unique, there is another person that's there that's on the same page as you. And so I think it's vital that we're sharing with them, if they're not already doing this, that it can change things, and it can change things for the better, as you just shared in that example. We had Denise comment that it does get clunky, taking orders and kind of running in and out and giving people things. And so as she would assume or predict that in the future, people would add on more things like drive-throughs and curbside and just make it a lot easier for the restaurateurs. But that's one of the good things that may come out of this, is this adaptive and innovative way of doing business in all industry. So yeah, keep going on through.
I think that's exactly right. And it's usually in times of crisis where some of the best opportunities, the best ideas come about. And And I think we've already seen a trend towards restaurants getting smaller, having a smaller footprint. We even have kitchens that are kind of on-demand kitchens that are just literally they don't have dine-in at all. They're solely set up to deal with takeout or catering, so or delivery. So it is a trend that's moving that way, and I think this will likely accelerate that move in that direction. So yeah, it's a good point. A couple of things I think are important. The fifth item that I wanted to just touch on was just better customer data. Being able to kind of what I touched on earlier, the ability to know whether you have a new or a repeat customer coming in based on that card information. We have analytics tools that we work with our customers on that will help them really identify their share of wallet, the ability to, how much of that customer's wallet are they actually getting, and how you're doing versus your competition, right, which is, I think, very important data that can be helpful. So those are all things that are available, with the right system that can give you insights into your business that you may be missing out on right now. Another thing that I would touch on as well, real quick, is the on that note, one thing I'll mention as well. I think you'll also find that you have the ability to be able to identify zip codes, where your customers are coming from. And it might help inform your decisions as to where you might open up the next location and so forth, as we get past this short-term crisis and we're ready to expand and grow. So
and you can do so much with customer data. That's so true. You can really customize your menu more. You can select different deal pricing based on what they're used to bundling. You can really cater what options you already have available and if they're actually beneficial to your customers, right? And should you keep that and keep offering it, or should you change it to something else and capitalize on that instead?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So I think, number 6 in terms of some of the items that I think make online ordering even more advantageous is just the convenience that it offers the consumer and the business owner, ability to not have to call in an order, be able to expand and be able to access that menu, whether it be on their smartphone, on the tablet, computer, wherever they are, they have access to that menu. And I could be sitting in a meeting and I could quickly get my food order in for lunch here and do it discreetly and just makes it so much easier. So I think you're going to continue to see a trend towards that part of it as well.
So I'll know now that during our committee meetings, when you're on your phone, Jeff, you're ordering and you're ordering local.
That's exactly right. Yep, it's we're gonna take care of those Westminster restaurants for sure. So
awesome.
The number 7, in terms of items that I think are important, it gives you the opportunity to be able to stay ahead of your competition. I mentioned the fact that right now about 6% of the population, the restaurant population, has adopted online ordering, and that's growing rapidly. But I think that this is going to be one of those key catalysts that will really help that grow. But you still, even if you were to adopt it today, you're still well ahead of most of your competitors, and it gives you, I think, a competitive advantage in terms of just one of the things that we're finding with online ordering as well. The stats that we've looked at over the last couple of years are showing that about the order size itself is usually about 20% greater with online ordering than it is in dining in. So that's a big advantage. I talk about a big revenue driver for you.
Right.
This is something that can truly drive revenue, and it's because they have the opportunity to really look at the overall menu and may not have, they're not feeling rushed. They can do it at their leisure and generally just means you're going to get a larger order size.
Wow, that's crazy. So 20% more.
Yeah, that's the current stats, and my guess, obviously, in this environment, those stats are going to be changing dramatically. But I think you're going to find that those that are able to, it also gives you insights as a business, as a restaurateur. It gives you insights as to, what menu items your customers are really finding value in, and allows you to be able to inform your decisions as to what you're going to be purchasing from a cost of goods perspective as well, for what food items you need to be buying, and ensuring that you've got enough on there to meet the need. With most online ordering systems as well, you have the ability to go in quickly on the back end. And let's say that you're getting low on a specific item. Let's say you're selling tamales, and you're down to 6 tamale plates left. You can put that in the order system, and once that item hits, it is sold out, it can disappear off the online ordering system, so you don't have disappointed customers as well. So there's ways that it can make that process more efficient for you and for your customers as well.
That's terrific.
Yeah. So talked about growing the bottom line. This is one of those ways that just by offering online ordering, you have the ability to be able to grow your revenue stream, and it just gives that customer an opportunity to be able to get to know your menu more effectively. And some of the stats that are showing or that we're getting as well, the online ordering component tends to drive activity to the dine-in, and obviously we're not doing that right now, but once we get past this time period, I think you're going to see more people, a much larger percentage, are willing to once they've tried your service online, they're much more willing to come and dine in and be able to experience that or go through that experience as well. So it just gets people in the door as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you shared, now they have a chance to actually see everything that you're offering. They also have a chance to see things that you want to highlight to them. So if there are certain things that you want to point out on your menu and want them to be aware of or take advantage of, this is your way of kind of marketing to them off of your own individual menu. So
absolutely. That's exactly right. And, so point number 9, I think, is this gives you the opportunity to be able to get a much greater reach in terms of audience that you're able to cater to. So, obviously, when we do have, when dining in does resume again, typical restaurant's going to have somewhere between 100 to 200 seats available, and that that's a limited capacity, where online ordering gives you the opportunity to truly cater to over thousands of individuals. And like I mentioned, I've got a number of examples of businesses along the Front Range that are seeing an increase in business because of the fact that they're now able to offer this option for their clientele. So, I think it gives you the opportunity to be able to expand your reach and get reach customers that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah. So again, this webinar is online food ordering, so food service industry specifically. Jeff Leopold here from Heartland, and he's kindly shared with us nine benefits to doing so. If you just wanted to hit quickly the topic of each of the 9 benefits, just as a quick recap, we don't have to go in detail since you already have.
Yeah, you bet. And I'll be happy to. So number 1, again, was making that ordering process easier for you and your customers. Efficient customer and efficient and a safer process for customer and order management. Number 3 was monitor your expenses to allow you to monitor your expenses incurred in real time. Number 4 was free and cheap marketing to be able to use that data to be able to help your customers. Number 5 was better customer data than you might have available today. Number 6 is the convenience of mobile ordering, just making it easier to do business with you. Number 7 was staying ahead of your competition, and touched on the fact that even though this is growing exponentially here, especially in the last several weeks, this is a way that you can differentiate yourself from your competition, and more importantly, keep your doors open and drive revenue to your bottom line. Last but not, number 8 was growing your bottom line. As we were talking about this opportunity to, it not only gives you an opportunity to keep the doors open, but generally we see larger orders happen online as well. Last but not least is greater reach, the ability to reach a much broader audience and make them aware of you and your business.
Well, thank you again. And Jeff, I know that Heartland has dedicated a specific program to offering anyone that's willing to sign up right now to do online ordering. If I'm not mistaken, you have several months that you're offering at no cost to them. I want you to just kind of quickly share maybe what that is, and we'll include the link to the PDF on here. So if anyone's interested in that specific platform and information, you can connect with Jeff and you can find more information on it. But I did just want him to kind of share because it's a free resource, at least initially, and we're all about what resources can we give out to our business community.
Yeah, no, that's great. So we have a number of different online ordering platforms that are offering 90 days free. So basically give you the opportunity to be able to quickly get set up, working with our dealer network to quickly get you set up to be able to accept online ordering, through, whether it be through your website, through a mobile app, or just, we have a product called our Heartland Restaurant point of sale system that we will give you one site license where just you provide the iPad, we build your menu out and provide this as a resource for you for 90 days to just be able to allow you to keep your doors open and take advantage of the things that we just talked about here a minute ago. It's a significant cost savings benefit, and it will work. It allow you to work simultaneously with your current point of sale system, so you don't have to change systems out. If it's something you want to explore, you certainly have the opportunity to do so, but you don't have to do that. So and the really cool thing is you don't have to have a website. So if your restaurant does not have a website currently, we provide you with a link that you can use to post on Facebook or Google or wherever you want to put that out in whatever social media sites, Yelp, whatever. There's a link that you can put on that site that just allows them to click, and it goes right to our online ordering platform. It looks like it's your business, but it gives you the ability to be able to accept those orders, and they come right to you via that iPad. So just another way that we're working to try and help our local restaurateurs. We are the preferred provider for both the National Restaurant Association and the Colorado Restaurant Association, and we certainly appreciate all you do.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff. I sure appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know, especially with the volume that's kind of been hitting you hard right now, how valuable this would be to be doing something else. So I appreciate you sharing your wisdom, your tips with everyone on this webinar, and some of the information that's available through Heartland. Again, we'll make that available so anyone that's interested can connect with Jeff and find out if this is a great fit for you. And if you're not already doing it, then this may be an eye-opening webinar. But thank you so much, Jeff, for taking the time to tune in with us today, and just excited to keep continuing to serve our business community.
Great. Thank you so much, Julie.
Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.